You go back to this. You say, well, what's wrong here? And you know what it is? And leaders will tell you this. They do say, something feels different here. I should feel this. Because if you have made the right decision, and we'll go ahead and put it up here, okay, because this would short circuit having to revisit. If you've made the right decision, there is one thing that will overcome you that you will welcome. Do you know what it is? What will you have?
It's like a sense of peace.
Peace! Andy, you nailed it. You have peace. And you keep that peace after you've made the decision and you've implemented it. But if you're not at peace, if you're stirred up, you go back and you revisit the decision you made. Why did I overlook that fact? The fact was staring me in the face and I'm overlooking it. I didn't want to see it. We use that all the time with love. Love, they say, is blind. We overlook. But love should never be stupid. Love is blind, but it should not be stupid. When you have a situation that is not good, a guy turns out to be an abuser or something, or an addict, and you saw signs, but you just didn't let it sink all the way in. And then all of a sudden, you have to revisit. And you have that tough decision to go back to. You go through that whole process again. And that's called adaptive intelligence. So you're at peace, or you are troubled. And in that trouble, it will drive you back to one. This is the fork in the road. Okay, any other questions? That's a great question, Kathy. Thank you. Any other questions? I seek your comment. Is this true to your life? Does anybody have an alternative to this? I'd like to hear it. How about you? Does this ring true?
Okay.
Does it ring true to you, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am? Ring true?
It does. Although when you're leading people, you have to be very careful to get their buy-in as well. Even if you think one thing, but they are feeling something else, walking a very tight line.
That's a great point. Leaders have to, and we will broaden this discussion, but leaders do have to broaden the scope, the arena. It's what both Eisenhower and Truman said at various points in their careers. The art of leadership is getting people to do what they ordinarily wouldn't choose to do. And getting them to do it because they want to do it. And that's what coming to work for a good boss does. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to go to work. This is what, you take your vacation, you go golfing, or you go scuba diving or whatever. That's what you'd really rather do. But if you have a situation at work, or say a teacher in a classroom who says, you know what, my lazy side wouldn't go to that class, or I certainly don't want to go to work, but you know what, I can do some good. I like our mission. I buy into it. You're getting the person to overcome their first nature, to adopt a second nature. This is why all generals, all employers, all bosses, all teachers, they're really very Aristotelian. Aristotle said that the root of so much of our behavior is overcoming our first nature, which is selfish, petty, totally centered around I, me, mine, and getting us to put that aside and learning to act to serve others, to serve a bigger cause, to be something for somebody else and not just I, me, mine. That's Aristotle. He wrote that 2,300 years ago in the Nicomachean Ethics, and philosophers are still dealing with that awesome fact that we put aside that first nature. That's what education is. That's why you're at Grand Valley. That's why you work for a boss who maybe disciplines you. That's why a president will sometimes do the painful thing and say, maybe we have to fight that war so in the long run we'll be better off. Or maybe we don't fight that war so in the long run we're better off. Discipline is part of the entire process. This is very Aristotelian now. But it's absolutely essential to putting that first nature aside, which has a lot of, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I have a lot of rough edges. I'll be learning till the day I die. And thank goodness I've had bosses and teachers and, you know, a spouse, kids, all those institutions and people in my life who challenge me to be a better person. And leaders have to be open to that. So, that makes sense?